I'm going to take a few pictures of Ashleigh against this wall. I'm not going to use any reflectors or anything, I'm just going to get Ashleigh in the shadow. It's really bright sunlight. It's coming from over Harbourne way. Is that north or south? I'm not really. It's the other side of Birmingham at least. So I'm going to get you standing in the middle of that shadow there, Ashleigh. It's going to probably be really bright and unattractive on your face, but we'll see what we get. So I'm shooting this in program mode. Is that professional? I'm not sure. So let's have a look what we get. So it's way too bright. It's way too contrasty. And to be honest with you, I want to put the picture up now, and it looks dreadful, really. Ashleigh looks amazing, but the actual pictures look dreadful. Let's shoot a few more so as we've got examples of what we're shooting. I really love the fact that we can work towards this. I'm not even sure how I've done this, to be honest with you. I'm getting good pictures all the time, but so Ashleigh's working way towards the light. She knows exactly what she's doing. She's working her face towards the light. I'm going to shoot horizontal now to pick up a little bit of that shadow on the background. So it's absolutely a gorgeous set. But the problem with it is, it's way too contrasty. And if we're trying to retouch skin or to get it look good, you can see how bright it is just on me. It's literally going to blind you with the sunlight off my head. So what I'm going to do is I'm going to bring this in. And this is a traditional thing that a lot of photographers would do. They'll bring a silver reflector in. It gives you a great bounce back. But there's a reason why I don't actually like using reflectors. But the light is way better. Ashleigh looks incredible. So we're doing exactly the same. We're working through a few routines of what we're going to get. So that's good. And I'm going to go on to horizontal again. And I'll just have a little look at what we're getting. That's beautiful. And I'm going to get Ashleigh if you can just lean against this one part of the wall there, so as your face is just in the middle of the shadow. And I'll bring this over so it's like you're from this side. So it's October the 2nd or 3rd. It's October the 2nd. We've got bright sunshine in England. I've got no idea what's doing this. There you go. So I'm going to get Ashleigh against that wall just to give me a little bit more of a different. That's beautiful, Ashleigh. Okay, so we've got some pictures in, and I'm going to put a few of those in while we're talking now. Why don't I like reflectors? The first thing is, it's either all or nothing with a reflector. You literally have got very little control except for moving it forwards and backwards. You can change it to a white reflector that's inside this, or you can change it to a translucent reflector to block out some of the daylight. The way I prefer to do it, if I'm truthful, and this is the way I always do it, I use a studio flash. So I'm going to use a Godox DP600 Mark III, and all I'm going to do, it's really, really simple what I'm going to do. I'm going to take a picture and look at the back of the camera. I usually shoot tethered. I've got it up on 4 now. So I'm going to reduce that down to about 1/4 of the power. All I want to do is to have a little bit of bounce back into the shadows, so as we can, almost like a seesaw, we can balance the shadows and the highlights out, so as we get somewhere that the camera can cope with, so that it's somewhere in the middle of not being too light on the highlights and not being too dark on the shadows. So let's have a little look what this blasts in. Oh, sitting there. I'm going to put that picture up on there now. What we've got there is, I don't know whether you can see that. So it's giving me highlights on the wall. Let's see if we can get it again. If you look, we've still got shadows, but what we've done is we've put too much flash into it. So we're going to reduce that down really simply by just going onto A, knocking it down to, let's say, an eighth. Have a go again. So what we've done by doing that is we've reduced the power by using this trigger. We've reduced the power in that flashlight right the way down. So let's have a little look what we get now. Okay, it's still much too bright. So I'm going to go to my go-to, and I'm going to use a flash. I'm going to use manual. So I've knocked that down. Oh, hang on. Let's just see what we get. It's very strange. I've got a camera that's got program mode. I've got a camera that's got automatic. So many different modes. And I'm using it in manual. So let's have a little look what we get with that one again. Okay, so we've got enough light popping in there to leave the shadows there. But what we haven't got, it's not blowing everything out. What we don't want to do is we don't want to blow the highlights out and lose the shadows. So it's much more sort of, can we see that from that angle? Mm. It's much more subdued and more balanced. And we're using what are we using? We're using a 5D Mark IV for this shoot. If you notice now, the sun's gone in a little bit. So the awkward thing about that is that when we're using daylight, we have to be prepared for the sun to lift higher and lower. So if you shoot on the same settings all the way through in manual, what you'll find is some of your shots will be overexposed, some will be underexposed. So that's why you just keep your glasses, have a quick look. If you need glasses, you ain't got to use these. You haven't, it's not like a law where you have to go to Pixar Pro or something. What are you laughing at? And buy a pair of glasses. You know, it's optional. So let's just see what we get. Okay, we've got some lovely highlights and things on there again. So let's get shooting some of that. That's beautiful. That's gorgeous. So the nice thing is, I'm going to drop that down a little bit more. I want to get a little bit more shadow, because since we were talking, the sunlight's gone in a little bit, and now I'm a little bit scared that the highlights from the window is going to be great, but we're going to lose the shadows from the dark side. So I've dropped that down to 16th now. So let's have a little look what we get again. Do a shoot, have a look. Okay, that's beautiful. That's absolutely gorgeous. You know the earlier ones where the sun was in? She always says that she knows they shoot. Oh my God. So we'll get these, we've got the early ones, the nice ones.
Those are my things.
I like when we shoot, when we shoot stuff like this with you. Yeah. Can I just shoot? When we shoot like stuff like this against this wall with Ashleigh, then I really always enjoy shooting those. Let me just get a little test, see what's going on back on when the light's coming out. Okay, so now there's still no shadow. Oh, the shadows are coming back on the wall. Okay.
Worst case, we should just get a stencil and paint it on.
The weird thing about this is right, that a lot of photographers that work in studios, they do two things. They use a jobo, as you know, and then they'll blast windows or flowers or palm trees across the wall. We're very lucky in my studio where we've got this every morning. But you'd be amazed how many photographers come in and just plug lights in and completely ignore it. Anyway, let me just see what we get, and let's just shoot some more things. Oh, you know what, just as I say it starts to come back out again, so let me just tell you what we're shooting at. We're shooting at f5.6 at 200th of a second. We're using that light to the left, a DP603 from Pixar Pro. And we're using that literally just to throw us a little bit of light instead of using a reflector. And we've got Ashleigh being photographed incredibly, because she's blooming incredible. I'm going to take a picture first with no flash so that we can see exactly what the object of the game is with this now is I want to get Ashleigh in complete silhouette, so you can't make out any features of Ashleigh whatsoever. I've got that on 6.3, I'm going to knock it down to 7.1, maybe 8 and see what we get. Okay, so you can see, we can't see Ashleigh at all we can see is the window, and even the window is blowing out. You can see it's highlighted too much. So let's just shoot that one again, just so we can show you again. Ashleigh's completely dark, the sky's blown out, and now what I'm going to do is I'm going to switch the flash on. It's set to 1/8 of the power, and let's just do a picture. Okay, so now you can see, we can see Ashleigh. The window is still blown out. I want a little bit more light on Ashleigh to balance it out. She's still a bit dark. I'm not going to alter anything in the camera. I'm just going to alter the power that comes out of the flash by adjusting it on this. So I'm taking it from 1/8 up to 1/4. And then we'll take a little look what we get there. Okay, that's much more balanced. The reason I use the tripod when I'm using things like windows is that I want to get everything kind of almost as straight as I possibly can. Otherwise the windows, you end up having to alter everything you have to alter everything in Photoshop and try and balance everything out like that way. Where I prefer to get it right on the day and not have to mess around later. So now what we're going to do is we're going to shoot just one more test there. Yeah, that's absolutely perfect. I like the way the sky is blown out. I like the way Ashleigh's nice and crisp and clear. So we're going to help Ashleigh to get onto the windowsill now. Hope she doesn't fall through the window. But I'll put that there. We're not going to get that in shot. You okay? Perfect. So we'll just reframe. Let's tighten everything up before we move. Oh, let's get that off there. Okay, so I'm shooting quite close. Ashleigh, can you... Oh, it's okay, I've got your arms, no problem. Let me just lift it up a little bit. Okay, so I'm bringing Ashleigh in. I want to get the chimney pots, I want to get the windowsill. And I'm just cropping just below Ashleigh's knees, which is the place where everyone tells us not to crop. So let's have a look. Okay, so we've got that, the frame of that. I want to move it slightly to the right a little bit so as we can get the, I'll block that off a little bit. So let's see what we get. Okay, that's lovely. So let's just shoot a few of those. I want to work using the picture frame, the window as a picture frame, and work around that. I want to zoom in and zoom out. I'm cropping in, actually I'm cutting your hands off now, so if you can bring your hands in for me. That's gorgeous. That's beautiful. That's beautiful. That's beautiful. Amazing. Get that ready. That's beautiful, Ashleigh. Let me have a little look. Yeah, that's absolutely, the skin looks clean. Everything about it looks, so we'll shoot a couple of shots like that, Ashleigh, and we can, the sky looks clean, Ashleigh looks really fresh, and so that's beautiful. You can see on the camera there that when it keeps going black, that's highlighting warning. It gives you an error that it's blown out. I'm quite happy to have that blown out. What I am going to do is I'm going to reduce this down. We were at F8, we're dropping it down to F10 and have a little look. Yeah, now we're hardly losing anything, except what we are doing is we're picking up the umbrella. So I'm going to move the umbrella to one side to give us a bit more side lighting. This is where I was talking about earlier, where these lights are an absolute killer to move. So let's just move this over to one side. It'll give us a bit more directional lighting. It might alter the f-stop a little bit, but we'll see what we get. That's gorgeous, actually. Oh yeah, that's beautiful. Absolutely beautiful. So actually, I'm not going to crop the sides of the window. I'm just going to use the centre of the window. So if we can keep our arms in and not stretching out, and we'll work around that. Let me just do one more test to see what we get. I prefer to do 2 or 3 tests, so as we can actually see what we're getting, rather than shoot 200 pictures that are all not what we want. So I'd highly recommend to people, if you're setting up a shoot, spend 40 minutes setting the lights and the camera and everything up, and 10 minutes shooting. Because in 10 minutes you can shoot 100 pictures. But if you shoot 100 pictures that are all technically wrong, then you've wasted your time. Anyway, so let's do a shot. I've just taken a test shot of Ashleigh. She looks amazing in the window. Everybody downstairs is really pleased to see her. But if you can see on the back of the camera there, we've got it's just blowing up a little highlight on the left hand side. I'll shoot it again. It's just showing up a little highlight on the left hand side there, and that's going to burn that out. So all I'm going to do is I'm going to feather the light in just a little bit. So I'm twisting this round slightly. I'm going to push it back a tiny amount. So what I'm doing now is, instead of having the light pointing at Ashleigh, I'm almost having this, just the left-hand edge just feathering across the front of Ashleigh. That should remove a bit more of that highlight on the left-hand side of the wall. Yeah, and that's got that perfect. So let me have a little look what we get with that. So we'll knock that to try and F9. Yeah, that's beautiful. We've got that highlight back again by dropping it down one side. So all we'll do is, we'll just feather it a little bit more. I think probably in a second or two, the daylight's going to come back, the sunlight's going to come back out. Yeah, that's perfect. So we've got the exposure right, we've got the flash balance with the daylight, we've got it so that we can see clouds in the background and not just a bland sky. So let's just shoot some stuff. So Ashleigh will throw some shapes into the window. That's beautiful, Ashleigh. Gorgeous. That's lovely. What I will recommend to everyone, if you're shooting in a studio, especially mine, we're 2 floors up in the sky, please make sure the windows are on lock, or that you've got really good insurance. That's gorgeous, actually.